Welcome back. You're watching Home Porter on Benue Television, Makudi. We hope you watched that clip at the couples clinic. Well, to look at the issues that were raised in that particular episode of the couples clinic, I have with me in the studio Gabe Itodo. Gabe Itodo is a mentor, a relationship coach, and also the founder of Watchers Ministry, a ministry that has impacted a lot of people, and he is also raising a lot of young people. Welcome to Porter.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I also have a couple of people with me in the studio. Welcome to Home Porter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's look at the issues that were raised in that couples clinic.
Okay.
The first thing there is service, servanthood. And the picture that we get from what was said there is that if you are the head, if you are in charge anywhere, you must be a servant. And in fact, he said there that the word minister means servant. So how is this practical in our society today? Do we really see this? Imagine calling a geo servant. Or the head of a home or an organization, the servant. Some people say chief servant. No, let's hear your thoughts on this.
Okay, there's always a huge difference between what should be and what actually exists. In the ideal sense, true leadership ought to be servanthood. So a husband is supposed to serve the wife, and the wife and the husband are supposed to serve the children. Even though it's not obtainable today in our world, but it ought to begin from the church. So Christianity is a call to redefine leadership. Jesus Christ told his disciples that whoever is going to be the greatest among you should be the servant. So we who lead in church should teach our people how to serve. First of all, for instance, by never outgrowing joining a department. GOs, senior pastors, lead pastors should belong to departments where they still serve. A husband should still be able to go to the market and help the wife get things. If you're a husband, for instance, and your wife is a career woman and you are not, you should still be able to help your wife do some chores while she hurries to work in the early hours of the morning. Help your wife do school runs. If your wife cooks, she'll be able to help her wash plates.
Now, hold on. You're saying help.
Yes.
Like, okay, it's something she's supposed to do.
Yes.
And then you are helping.
Yes.
But from what he said, that he's saying serve, which means that, in other words, you're not doing what your wife is supposed to do because you are the home and this is the result that you want. So you serve, you do it. But if I say help, it means that the day you feel good, you do it. The day
Yes.
you can't, you don't help.
I'm starting from there because I have never minced words as regards responsibilities in a marriage setting.
Okay.
Primarily, maintenance of the home front is supposed to be for the woman, while provision of needs is supposed to be for the man, primarily. But in a situation where a man marries a wife who decides to help in providing, that is an added advantage, and the woman should never be taken advantage of. The man should always be grateful to the wife. So, a woman who now has a husband who understands this mindset of servanthood, the situation where they don't have any house helps, you, the woman, are supposed to keep the house neat, and the primary responsibility of taking care of the children ought to be for the woman. If you now have a husband who understands this and decides to help, you should understand that he is helping and not take advantage of your husband. It takes a woman who understands that the man is helping to always remember to say thank you when he does this. Because this is the fear of many men. If I start going to market now for my wife, if I start washing plates for my wife, one day she will start leaving the place for me even when she's chanced and assume that I should always do it. So I still want to stand my ground. That is help. And if you're a woman watching me there and you have a husband who is so nice to be assisting you with chores, always thank him because he's helping.
Okay. Now that you mentioned that, it just occurred to me that this fear, does it is there supposed to be fear in love? The Bible says that perfect love casts out of fear, and this is your partner, this is your home. So why should you be afraid? Because if you talk of this, there are also other women who feel that if my husband knows I have money, he will not take charge again, he will not bring money again, he won't give me money again, and all that. Should there be this fear? Because most people, they are maltreating, or they are not doing what they are supposed to be doing because they are afraid of being taken advantage of. Should this be? Can't you just do the right thing, whether somebody takes advantage of you or not? Just
In an ideal situation, that fear shouldn't be there. But because of the situation we found ourselves in today, many couples got married without a proper marriage classes, marriage trainings. And up till today, many Christian couples are running their homes without surveillance by spiritual authorities, disciples and mentors who could help put these things in place. So the absence of that, this spiritual cover and mentorship, discipleship, has made it such that the ideal is not in place in most homes. So that's what gives birth to the fear. In an ideal situation, a man should not be afraid of rendering any form of service for the wife. It should not even be like you are saying, like we're saying, it's not even supposed to be help. It's supposed to be, because your wife is joined with you, you are one with her. Whatever you do for your wife, you are doing for yourself. In an ideal situation, but that is not what it is now. In an ideal situation, a woman should drop all her money on the ground when she collects her salary, and a man should do the same, and both of them should plan. That's how me and my wife run our home. When I collect my salary, I bring it to the table, and then me and my wife plan. There's never been one moment in my life since I got married that my wife does not know what I earn. And there's never been one day that I got a job, because I'm also into other businesses, and a contract that my wife didn't know all of the income that came. Me and her, we sit together and we plan. I have no fear of telling her how much I earn. I have no fear of helping her do chores. And she also has no fear of bringing her own salaries to drop on the table for us to also share and plan. So in another situation, that's how it ought to be. And if your home is not like that yet, I would recommend that you get connected to spiritual counselors and disciples who, when you start receiving tutelage from couples who are more elderly and whose homes are being run this way, it will help to also put your home in pattern and in line.
so we should look out for models.
Yes, very, very important. A marriage that is being run without discipleship from elderly Christian couples whose marriages are working, you will make a lot of mistakes, and it's not always good to learn by experience, because the time is too short for us to be doing trial and error.
Okay. So you know that most of these issues that he mentioned are things that are affecting so many homes. The aspect of power. Said when power enters a man's head, and there were people that ask questions. Then it went to the women. When power enters a woman's head. Let's hear your thoughts on this.
Actually, power corrupts. In my life, I have seen people change when they became custodians of power. And I've also seen women change. I've seen men change when their status changed. I've seen women change in their attitude towards friends who are still singles now that you're married. You know, that's also power.
Yes. So marriage is a kind of power.
Marriage is power, because now you're being addressed no longer as Miss, say we say, but Mrs.
Yeah,
Madam.
Ring
And then yes. And some can really oppress with that ring. They're just flashing it in like this when you want to greet. You know. So some will delete their former Facebook account, create a new Facebook account, and accept friends requests for only married people.
That's serious.
And some say, no, I can't have anything to do with single friends anymore. I can't have anything. Now, I understand when you have to cut off some single friends who are not adding value to your life. But the truth is that there will always be those who add value to your life.
Yeah.
When me and my wife got married, our friends who were with us in the ministry, they used to still visit the house, and some of them come to pass the weekends. Your home should still be open. Remember old friends. Oh, if only this generation can learn to remember. You won't be in a hurry to cut off old friends. The fact that some of your friends are not married again, are not yet married, and you're already married with children, remember, the table could turn.
Yeah.
Those your friends could be in a position tomorrow to help your children. So let's still be good. Let's still maintain relationships. And then for the men, for some of them, is when they get a well-paid job. Suddenly, they can't greet their neighbors again. They want to be greeted first. When they change their car.
True.
You know, like that. I know some people, when they want to go and buy something, they enter the supermarket, they pay, and they walk away. But when they start earning well and they have a good car, they will go and stop at the entrance of the supermarket and be honing for the supermarket owners to come out and take their orders.
So what if someone is in a hurry, or maybe you have a kid in the car or something, and you don't want to come out and
if it's an exceptional case,
baby.
good. But for some people, that has become the lifestyle since they got the car. Even when they have all the time. Forgetting that if the supermarket attendants leave the customers inside the supermarket to come and attend to you, they could steal some of their things, or they could also lose some customers.
Okay.
That's part of power. Changing things. We should see, let's not get too used to it. It should be in exceptional cases. So power actually corrupts, but what tames power is love for humanity. If you truly love human beings, no matter how empowered you become, you remember that human beings should benefit from every privileged position you find yourself in. And I want to say a word to all of you who are watching me out there. Every position of authority you have today, use it to better the life of the common man. Don't oppress people just because you're in a position to help them. I have a quote: do not stress people unnecessarily because you're in a position to help. The tables could turn tomorrow, and somebody may also be in a position to help your children. Whatever you sow in life is what you reap.
Yeah. Men show power in the home. But I told you, has your wife showed you any kind of power?
One of the ways that happens is when the man is not providing enough and the woman has had it, to her jaw. She's been enduring the fact that, okay, times are hard. Okay, you have been collecting 50,000 since you got married. The economy, then dollar was 197 naira to $1. Now dollar is 450 naira. So things are not okay. I understand with you, but then she keeps noticing that you buy clothes for yourself. You would send money to your family members without her knowing, and she gets to know. And yet her and the children are being attended to. A time is going to come when she starts overreacting. And then you give her money for food. She corners the money to take care of her urgent needs and the children's need. And when you complain why the food you're expecting is not up to the standard you used to have before, then she will flare up one day and say, this is what I could afford, what you have given to me. So that may not be the right way to go about it, but it's a woman now trying to show you that I can't be a pushover all the time. I've endured enough. I need to have power to talk and be heard. It's a very common scenario in most homes today. And those things can be avoided if the man understands the word of a woman and if communication is paramount in a home. Yes.
A home. Some of us play eye service. You see, sometimes it's the children. They want something from your dad or your mom, and you do the kind of things that you know that when you do it, they'll be happy with you, and then they'll grant your request. Sometimes it's between a couple. Now the man wants a particular thing, or maybe you know that if she's angry, you will not have anything at the other room. So you will do all the chores for that day. You'll be very nice. You buy stuff and all. And after that day, you go back to being the boss. So how help us address this issue?
Takes me back to what I said earlier, because if that kind of home is truly under discipleship. Now, let me first start by debunking this notion of third parties coming to the home. People say don't bring in third party into the home. I want to start by saying that a spiritual cover, a spiritual authority, is not a third party. As a matter of fact, every Christian home should have a spiritual cover they can go and report themselves to when they are beginning to have issues that are unresolvable.
Why are you emphasizing the spiritual? Why are you emphasizing the spiritual aspect?
Yeah, I'm emphasizing the spiritual aspect because I'm a pastor and I'm talking from my perspective as a Christian relationship coach now.
Okay.
And I'm talking about what has worked for me. Yes. So you need to have people who have gone ahead of you and who use the principle of God, the Bible, as their guiding principle. It has worked for them to give you counsel. When that kind of authority is in place, the woman or whoever used to do the eye service, when you take the matter to your spiritual counsel and they call both of you together, they will advise the party who is always doing eye service and make him see the need to make it a consistent practice. It helps so that somebody stops doing eye service only when he needs something. That helps. Now, that said, I also want to cap it up by saying that some people, some kind of eye service in marriage is allowed. For instance, my 7-year-old son could sometimes become lazy about doing chores. So whenever he comes back from school and he wants to watch laptop, my wife always tell him to go and wash plates and do some chores. Then he will consider allowing him to watch laptop. So after a while, when he notices that doing chores is a necessary requirement for
Watching videos.
The moment he comes back home, he drops his bag. He's going to pack plates. He will start sweeping. The moment we see him doing that, we know that we must arrange his laptop for him.
but is that actually eye service? Because I know that some counselors say that one of the ways of parenting, one of the ways you help children to learn values is that the aspect of having a reward.
Okay,
You know, it's like a motivation.
Yes, that's why I said that's why I started by I said that some kinds of eye service are allowed. I say that as somehow as eye service because if he's doing it because of what he's going to gain. Supposing there's no laptop to watch, we are not sure if he will do it, but it's okay because in the long run, it's becoming more domestic. So that's what I mean that by some kinds of eye service are allowed. If a woman just finishes quarreling with her husband, and it's a knock on the door, and the visitor steps in, they were not smiling with each other, they were arguing with each other. And they should smile. Hey, they start smiling and laughing in the presence of the visitor. It's allowed. That kind of eye service is allowed because yes,
Yeah.
So there are some kinds of eye services in marriage that is, and when the visitor goes, they can continue from where they stop.
They should continue.
so that they can settle their own resolved matters. So those kind of eye services are allowed.
Okay.
We need to clarify that so that we can balance things.
Okay, let's hear from some homes. This is what the issue is. Like we were talking about that part of service, and we said that some men have the fear if I start this and I don't continue. Now there are in some homes we have women or we have men, as the case may be, who they were doing certain things at the beginning of their marriages or in the relationship, and they got married and they cannot do it again. Would like you to speak to people who are going through that kind of a situation, and also for those who are finding it difficult to serve, especially in the home, because we must serve in our homes.
Okay. Well, let me start by addressing young men watching this program who are not yet married. Whatever you have not mastered as a single, it will be difficult to master in marriage. If you want to gain mastery in serving your wife after you are married, it is good you master the art of service now as a single. Learn to cook for yourself and wash your plates, wash your clothes and iron them. Particularly if you have opportunity of having people live with you, if you are renting an apartment, you have friends living with you. Never assume that your friends should always do chores in the house. Participate in the chores. Do a roster. Who should wash toilets today? Who should wash plates tomorrow? Who should clean the parlor, clean the sitting room, and all of that. Participate in the chores. Then when you now marry, it will be easy to serve your wife. And for men who are finding it difficult to serve now in marriage, it's not too late to begin. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Start from somewhere. Start by making up your bed when you wake up, polishing your shoe by yourself, ironing your clothes, washing your car, and then from there you can pick up. And then for those women listening to me, you had husbands who were nice to you and were doing some things, while you were courting and now you are married and they can no longer do those things. If it's a genuine case of incapacity, your husband had money that time and he's no longer having that kind of money again, please bear with your husband. Every woman has a responsibility to pray for her husband, because whatever negatively affects your husband is going to affect your home negatively. Every woman, even those of you watching me right now, and that is well with your home now, keep praying for your husband. Pray for your partner, because if your partner is attacked, if their finances are attacked, it's going to affect you negatively. So please bear with your partner and keep praying for the person until a revival comes for the person to return to what used to be while all was well.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for your words.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your time with us.
Thank you for having us.
Wow, that's our show for today. I got something. I hope you did too. It's good to be humble. And with everything that we are doing, let's add love to it, because love makes everything beautiful. My name is Sewese Aga. I'll be here same time next week on another wonderful time of the program. Have a lovely day. Bye.